Do, 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 do. There we go. Womp. Click. I think we're good. I don't think there's anything like floating around here. I think they just want you to leave.
You ready to get out of here, Jensen?
Oh, please, yes.
Yeah, take us back to Sarif Industries.
None too soon, if you ask me. Strap in and hold on.
Pocket secretaries often contains passwords and passcodes.
Jensen, I need to speak with you. Meet me in your office right away.
I'd love to, Francis, but I have to debrief Sarif first.
I suppose you could, or you could hear what I have to say and see if that doesn't change things. Pritchard out.
I can't believe it, Jensen. An internment camp smack dab in the middle of...
So we can be loyal boys and talk to Sarif. Or we can see Pritchard and see if we feel any differently afterwards. Considering there's no harm in talking to Pritchard, we're going to talk to Pritchard first. Also, we get more dialogue options that way.
It's not only the pro-ogs who might want to get attacked.
You're saying that human activists might
What do you want?
As much as I hate to admit it, I need your help. That signal you shut down in DRB territory. It's been active for almost a year.
You're telling me someone outside this company has had access to our network since before the first attack?
I've detected intrusions before and shut them down swiftly every time. But whoever designed this particular algorithm is good. Very good.
You've told Sarif?
See, here's the thing. The intrusions were possible because of a backdoor access into our security system that I never even knew existed.
The one Sanders' team used to get inside our plant.
I've worked here for 7 years, Jensen, and this is the first time I've seen that particular access route. David Sarif created it specifically to bypass the firewall. He's hiding something, and I think you should find out what it is.
Why me?
Because, as far as I can tell, Sarif created that access and was streaming a lot of data through it shortly after your ex-girlfriend suggested he hire you.
Dun dun dun. Now we'll confront Pritchard.
I saw William Taggart in the building earlier. Guy's got balls around here.
So we don't know who Taggart is yet. But we'll see him eventually.
Excuse me.
And here he is.
Mr. Jensen, isn't it?
Sir, you have that charity dinner?
In a moment, Isaiah. I was hoping I might run into you, Mr. Jensen. Bill Taggart.
So
The founder of the
he's
Humanity
spot
Front.
on.
I know who you are.
Yes. Yes, I imagine you do. As David Sarif's top security man, I imagine you have quite the file on me. But I assure you, Mr. Jensen, I am devastated by recent events.
Really?
I do not support what you and your company are doing to mankind. I believe it's extremely dangerous. But abolishing human enhancement technologies will only be achieved through legal means.
I'll keep that in mind.
This is your first day back since the accident 6 months ago, isn't it?
Sir, we have to go.
What happened to me was no accident.
Ah, my mistake. But it must have been stressful facing down a second incident so soon. I imagine it brought back all kinds of unpleasant memories.
I appreciate your concern, Mr. Taggart, but it was nothing I couldn't handle.
I'm a psychologist, Mr. Jensen. I know when a man is hiding behind words. The flesh may heal, but the mind is not always so resilient. You might want to keep that in mind. Now, if you'll be so kind as to excuse me.
I'm curious about something, Mr. Taggart. What is it you hope to accomplish by coming here tonight?
I would think that would be obvious. Your company
And
has
it's the
been
hand gesture
viciously
again.
targeted. The violence and bloodshed that's occurred, it must be stopped. But I'm afraid it won't be until men of wisdom and understanding come to an agreement.
About what?
About the future, Mr. Jensen. This enhancement technology threatens to change the course of human evolution, to redefine what it even means to be
title
human.
drop.
You think governments can afford to let that go unregulated?
You can't stop progress, Mr. Taggart.
Perhaps not. But neither can we afford to sit by and watch it happen on its own. Not when we have the ability, the collective will, and foresight to influence it.
I see. Thank you for illuminating me.
Illuminating.
Anytime.
Ooh. Is he Illuminati? Looks like he could be Illuminati. Is that a two-tone collar? Like a, not a collar. Lapel? Because that's pretty nice. I do like his little tie piece.
Boss, we need to talk.
Is something wrong?
I'm not sure. Did you set up a private access route to bypass the company firewall right before you hired me?
What?
Pritchard said someone's been using it to access our system since before the first attack. The security measures he and I set in place never stopped them because we didn't even know the loophole existed.
Oh, I see. Frank's fixed that, though, right?
He has now, but he's wondering why you never mentioned it.
Frank's paranoid, Adam. You know that. Can a busy man forget things once in a while?
You streamed an awful lot of data through that portal, boss. Right before you brought me on board. Pritchard may be paranoid, but I gotta admit, I'm wondering what was in it too.
Yeah, as an ex-cop, I guess you would. But the important thing is you found the hole and plugged it. We're secure now. And the information you uncovered in that FEMA facility may actually help us track these guys. So let's just stay focused on what's important.
You went, blah, blah. Now, we're going to be a little bit more aggressive with Seraph.
I want to, believe me. I want to catch these guys as badly as you do. But that breach is responsible for every security crisis we've had, including today's. If you want me to stop these guys, I need to know what kind of data they've had access to.
You're right, you're right. I'm sorry if I seem evasive. But there's something you're not getting here, Adam. Business is war, with no clear battleground and no rules to keep our enemies honest. In this company, I'm the commander-in-chief, and I have to be ready for anything, and I will do anything to ensure that I am. Now, I hired you because I needed a general I could trust, one who knows how to obey orders.
I think I proved myself today. And the only reason I'm worried about that loophole right now is because the data you streamed through it could have been accessed, backtraced, and stolen by the men who attacked us. Our enemies might still find a way to hurt us with it.
I wasn't criticizing you, Adam. But I suppose you raise a good point. Look, I'm not going to share every single detail of this data with you. As CEO of this company, there are things I can't release, even to you, Frank, or Athena. I consider us all a team here, but we each have our own roles to fill. I decide who gets trusted with what, and in this case, you're just gonna have to do your job without knowing all the facts. Megan said you could roll with the punches. Prove she was right.
Megan? Boss, what does Megan have to do with any of this? I thought we were discussing a security breach.
No, Adam. You were discussing it. I just told you it's time to move on. Megan was a valuable asset, Adam, in more ways than one. If she pointed me in a direction, I followed up on it. Now, if the data I stream goes public, it's likely to get embarrassing, but that's all. And it's the kind of embarrassment the shareholders pay me to deal with. So I don't need you wasting your time getting sidetracked. You understand?
Boss, 6 months ago, mercenaries knew stuff about this company that I didn't and used it to get past my security measures. I don't really care what kind of secrets you and Megan were keeping back then. I just want to make sure they don't endanger us again.
Adam, I didn't mean to imply... You're right, okay? You're right. I really shouldn't keep this information from you. I just hope you'll understand why I did. All right. Look, the truth is, I set up a confidential data channel for a private investigator, someone who can run covert background checks on people, potential new recruits, like you.
You what?
I had to, Adam. You were a liability, remember? You'd just been fired from SWAT. Now, Megan believed in you, but I had to be sure. Look, I don't want this to come between us. I'll send the files to your computer. You can see for yourself what he dug up. But Adam, you'd better be sure.
Why? What do you mean?
I mean, sometimes the past should stay in the past. Once you see that data, you can't unring the bell. When you're ready, come back and talk to me. We need to discuss our next move.
So yeah. I've actually never done this before. So let's see what happens. I do like the fact that they put your office right by his, which is nice. Alright, we're actually going to read this. Mr. Seraph, I found Adam Jensen's psych evaluation following that spot incident with the augmented teen. I managed to sneak a lot out of the folder, but I couldn't copy it. At least not yet. I'll be honest with you, the psych eval doesn't paint a pretty picture. It mentions the problems with authority figures, discredit the chain of command, anger management issues, and potential PTSD. Here's the thing. When you hired me, you said you wanted me to read between the lines, so here it is. The evaluation reads like fiction. I'm thinking I pissed off Superior when Jensen off the force and had the evaluation worded to read just like, bleh. Most of the rank and file I spoke to respected and liked Jensen. They thought he was a real straight shooter, though. Even though the SWAT incident soured his reputation a little, still, even my source liked him enough to want to keep his psych eval buried. Brent, it wasn't easy, but I finally backtraced some of Margie and Arthur Jensen's past through their medical files. Arthur Jensen had enough connections through his old Desert Storm buddies turned security consultants to have certain records pulled, which is why the family is a ghost. But he couldn't hide Margie's records. For a period of 8 years, Arthur relied on the insurance policy of his then-employer, White Helix Labs, to pay for his wife's medication. She was on antidepressants since 14 and needed regular prescriptions. When White Helix Labs burned down, all its files and employment records were lost in the Jensen state, invisible mostly. One man in Adam doesn't exist, and the next the Jensens have themselves a bouncing and healthy 5-year-old. That's when they pulled their vanishing act. So on a hunch, I sniffed around some more, and sure enough, Jensen had tried adopting kids from several Michigan agencies, but Margie was deemed unfit as a parent. Next thing you know, they have Adam. There's no real trail saying how he was placed in their hands. Run the test on the records like yes, does your subject know that neither of his parents are his birth parents? That surprised me. The mother was sterile, according to those old mother records I dug up, but the dad carries no common phenotypes either. See for yourself. So, we're adopted, is, I guess, the gist of it.
Athena tells me you spoke to Sarif. Did he happen to tell you why he made us look like idiots?
I'm handling it.
You can imagine how relieved I am to hear that. I'll tell you what. While you follow any lead Sarif spoon-feeds you, I'm going to do what I should have done in the first place and backtrace that signal.
That's your pride talking. Still, get back to me if you find something.
You meant when?
Pretty sure I didn't.
Whoa, where are we? Here we are.
Here, this is for you. It's a corporate passport encoded with your biometrics. I've set up a false flag routing which should get you to Henshaw Island without any problems.
You're sending me to China? What about FEMA?
FEMA's got nothing to do with this, trust me. We'll have better luck in China.
How can you say that? I saw the bastard who killed Megan pulling his men out of that facility. I left one of those men dead in its underground storage bay.
I know that, Adam. Frank was monitoring the whole thing. So I also know that before he died, that man gave you an address in China. I want you to check it out.
That doesn't make any sense.
Look, Adam. There's a reason this company's under attack. You think it has to do with the typhoon or with some other top-secret military project that I haven't told you about?
The thought had crossed my mind.
Yeah, well, it doesn't. The work Megan's team was doing before they were killed, it was redefining what it means to be human. This company, Seraph Industries, was about to lead mankind to its next stage in human development. Self-controlled evolution. Can't you see how scary that can be to some people?
And here's the animation
Sure.
again.
I also see how lucrative it can be for some others.
It's never been about money for me, Adam. But you're right. There are people out there who don't exactly feel the same.
Like who?
I'm hoping you'll be able to find that answer for us in China. So get going. Farida's prepping the chopper.
So yeah, we didn't actually talk to him about the emails, which is actually a little strange. I guess they just didn't program a conversation about it. I don't think there's any more side quests here. Certainly hope not. Because I like side quests. And I want to make sure I do them. Oh, hey, look, it's... Oh, I can't talk to him this time. Where does this go? Street level. Alright, so I guess it's just another way to get out of the building. Oh, and a helipad door. Alright, cool.
Hey, Jensen. The boss said you were on your way. You're gonna love Hangsha.
You've been there?
Used to live there. I spent 3, maybe 4 years working in the upper city, and most of my nights having fun in the lower one. You ready to go?
Whoa, Melik, slow down. But yeah.
I thought I was. How long is this gonna take, Melik?
You mean the flight or the fun afterward? Don't worry, we'll be there before you know it. Climb in.